welcome to the Daft on Draft podcast. And today is a very special episode. We love these ones. It is Daft or Draft. We are going to give 3 hot takes, and we are going to either draft them or they're dumb, they're daft. Get it out of here. But I can't do that alone. I have my co-host Cory Kinnan with me, the fake Cory Kinnan on that terrible site. And he is Daft on Draft at the good site over at Blue Sky. I am Dalton B. Miller at both, although I'm not much on X anymore. Cory's been fighting with the people of Northeast Ohio and Ohio in general over Drew Allar. So we might as well start there with Daft or Draft.
Yeah,
Cory,
let's do it.
Daft or Draft, Drew Allar would be making a mistake declaring for the NFL draft.
Draft. 100% drafting this. And there are multiple things that go into this. But going back to that Big Ten championship game, and it's kind of indicative of the full season for Drew Allar, is that there's a lot of meat on the bone. I understand the arm talent. I get it. I get the appeal and the arm slots that he can throw from. I get it. And we do this every year with the bad class. We try to create a prospect in a bad class. And Drew Allar is that guy this year. And for what Drew Allar, what I think are his deficiencies, he does have a lot of really good traits to him. He works it well in structure. He gets his eyes backside. He does not turn the football. That's huge. I get all of those things. Andy Kolnecki is scheming up gaping holes for this guy to throw into. And that's not to say he's not making any NFL throws, but he's making very few NFL throws. Again, talking about throwing the ball 25 plus down the field, he has 30 chartable passes at that range from my charting, which is about half as much as every other quarterback in this class. Like, he just doesn't push the ball down the field. And in the Big Ten championship game, he tried to rip the seams quite a few times. And man, he just wasn't very good in that game. He was off target the majority of that game. He had Tyler Warren up the seam on what should have been a walk-in touchdown. He had Nick Singleton on a seam route out of the backfield that would have gone for a lot of yards.
But was he held up on that? Because he looked like
Singleton was held up a little
bit of a grab on it.
He did, but I still think it wasn't a great throw.
Yeah.
On that one either. Like, and then like there was one deep shot he threw into double coverage. It's like, why are you throwing that football there?
That was a horrific decision. He rolled out right, because I watched Derek Harmon this morning, and he rolled out right and just chucked it up, and the ball left his hand horrifically. I mean, you could see that thing wounded ducking its way through the air.
Yeah, he missed on a boundary throw where as soon as it left his hand, he knew he missed as well. Like, you could see his body language. Like, he needs to go back to school. As much I think as he has improved this year with Andy Kolnecki as his offensive coordinator, I think he still needs to go back and take another step, because where he is right now is still like a third round quarterback, in my opinion. But what I do think he needs to consider, and this is the second facet of this question, and I'm still drafting it, but Andy Kolnecki is a finalist for the West Virginia head coaching job. His wide receivers are abysmal, and he's losing his top 2 targets. At what point is the deck too stacked against you to go back? I think is a question he might have to ask.
And that is why I'm dafting this. I would love for him to go back and be in a situation that would be conducive to taking that next step, because we've already seen him take a step forward this year, to give him that next step. And I just don't think it's going to be there at Penn State next year. You're losing Tyler Warren. You're losing Nick Singleton out of the backfield. You're probably going to lose your offensive coordinator. And as much shit as I give that offense for being gimmicky, it is really creatively gimmicky. I mean, it's not just for the sake of being dumb. It has structure to it. And there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of formation stuff that makes things easier for them. I just think that they're not going to be able to hit the portal hard enough. We haven't seen them do it yet. Nobody really wants to go to Happy Valley. You can get those guys recruited out of high school. It's Penn State. It's a big enough program. It's got enough history. But guys who have been in college, have lived the college experience, if they like to do things, Happy Valley is not the place to be. There are so many better places to go and spend your college times. And so for me, I think that the portal is going to always be a little bit more difficult for a place like Penn State. So I think he should probably declare for the NFL draft. And I kind of like that he might end up being that second round guy, because I think it gives him a longer leash, or a back end of the first guy. I think it gives him a longer leash to where he won't have to play right away. Even if he does have to play soon as a rookie, midway through the year, the expectations won't be sky high. I saw Kyle Krebs, who is a Penn State grad, talking about Allar for the 33rd team and comping him a little bit stylistically or developmentally to Josh Allen. He is nowhere near the athlete that Josh Allen is. Yeah. And Kyle had to sit everybody down and say, this is what it is. It's the volatility and the arm talent. And even though he's not a great athlete, he can get on the hoof, and he will put his shoulder down, and he will be able to pick up third downs at the NFL level, even though he isn't a great athlete. He can take what he's given.
He's very clumsy when he tries to run football. And that's not to say he can't do it, but
he fell over on it. He fell over on a 3rd and 7, just like ran into the back of his lineman and did not pick up the first down. They ended up having to go for it on 4th and 1. But he does have all of the tools. And if he's able to sit and wait behind an established starter, maybe an aging veteran, maybe the New York Jets in round 2.
Boy, that feels like a pick the Jets would make too.
Maybe that is
the parallels to Christian Hackenberg.
It is just round 2, though. Keep Tyrod Taylor around to be the starter, to be the bridge, or bring in Jameis, or pay Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that would be so funny.
That would be.
You could not live with your own failures.
Let you back to me. So, yes, I think it is Daft. I think that he should go to the NFL, because I think that there's an untenable situation brewing at Penn State.
That's the beauty of the transfer portal, though, too.
Also true. Didn't think about that one before I said that.
But that would be a huge, whoa.
Yes, it would be a huge whoa, specifically because he kind of turned down Ohio State because of James Franklin, because of his relationship with James
Ohio
Franklin.
State was late to him as well.
Yeah, they were. And that's part of the relationship.
Right. Yeah, he was a 3-star for most of his recruiting until the very end. And people were wait, this kid can sling it. So Ohio State was late to the game, even though I think he wanted to go. His whole thing in high school was he wanted to go to Ohio State, but they were way too late to his game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second Dafter draft. And I saw this from, I believe it was Anthony Rousseau on Blue Sky. No matter who is the first pick in the NFL draft, they would be making a mistake not drafting Travis Hunter. Cory, Daft or draft?
Man, that's so layered. That's such a layered one. But that's what makes these great. See, it depends. I can't say whatever team because, no.
Why not?
I am going to say draft.
Because
I am going to say draft here. I'm going to draft it. One, because I think the two teams that are going to be picking at the top are both going to fire their head coach. And I think both those teams that are going to pick at the top are not winning. The Raiders and the Giants.
Yeah.
I think the Giants are closer because they have a cornerstone left tackle. They have a cornerstone wide receiver. And they have a pretty good running back in Tyrone Tracy that they found on day 3 of the draft. So
and maybe the best defensive player in the NFL.
And maybe the best defensive player in the NFL, Dexter Lawrence, yes. So I do think the Giants are closer, but are they close enough to where you say we are going to, again, our big boards, we're through 10 players, but we're going to get through 15 players, and neither of us are going to have a quarterback in our top 15. Are they close enough to where they say we are a Shedeur Sanders away from winning a Super Bowl? Or are they going to say, let's add talent at cornerstone position, corner, and let's take a shot next year? Again, assuming I think Dable's going to get fired. I know they keep toying around oh no, these guys are safe. Joe Shane and Brian Dable are safe. They've lost 8 in a row, dude. every quarterback they put on the field looks completely lost. I mean, we're talking about Drew Lock and Danny DeVito, Tommy DeVito, and Daniel Jones, but I think that's an indictment of the head coach as well. Like if you can't prepare, like you have 3 quarterbacks and not a single one looks prepared on the game day, I think is an indictment. So like and here's the thing. Joe Shane will never live down the PR nightmare of the Saquon Barkley saga on Hard Knocks. He will never live it down. Like that is as bad of a look as it gets from a PR perspective. To one say, he's going to be 27 years old and running backs tend to fall off the cliff at 27, 28, whatever, however old Saquon is. And then so he goes out and he signs a 28-year-old running back to replace Saquon Barkley. Like you don't live that down. Raiders, I think with all of my heart that Antonio Pierce is way in over his head and he's a one and done. Way over his head. So I think he's a one and done as well. That to say, a new regime's not going to be asked to compete right away. And that screams, we don't have to take a rookie quarterback. If it's the Patriots, absolutely. They just took their quarterback. Carolina, I think they've seen enough out of Bryce Young since he's come back in the lineup to give him another year. With Dave Canales, Jaguars, same thing. They just paid Trevor Lawrence $50 million.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is the Titans could lose out. And the Titans are a team that I think are desperate to get rid of Will Levis. So that could be a thing. But if I'm going to draft that Travis Hunter deserves to be the first overall pick no matter what.
Yeah, I'm going to draft this because no matter what you need, your football team needs either a corner or a wide receiver, just flat out.
Whenever you think you have enough corners or wide receivers, you need one more.
Yep. And with how technically sound he is at both, I fully expect him to play both in some fashion at the NFL level. I think he'll probably play a majority of his snaps on the defensive side of the ball and have a package or packages for him on the offensive side of the ball, specifically to try and get him the football because he is that good with it in his hands. I think he's just, again, the best football player I've ever watched. Just flat out mentally. And I think that we talk about the outrageous closing speed. We talk about the outrageous ball skills. You and I have been talking about how intelligent of a football player he is. I think when I look at the cornerback position, it's Patrick Surtain and Travis Hunter. And I think Travis is even on a tier above Surtain, who I thought was a damn near perfect mental corner. Mm-hmm. Travis Hunter, the way that he plays the position is so intuitive that it is second nature. I think playing so much wide receiver and getting better at wide receiver has helped round out his game at corner even more. And so for me, I'm looking at a complete player who, I mean, I would be absolutely and utterly shocked if he was anything but a perennial Pro Bowler at the NFL level. At the very least. What's the ceiling for Shedeur? Geno plus?
Geno plus, yeah.
I think he just is. I think he just, no, for sure. But I think he just is Geno. And in the NFC, Geno's good enough. But if you're the Las Vegas Raiders, is Shedeur Sanders going to be enough to outduel Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes in that division? Hell no. Hell no. You would need a fantastic team around as well. And the Las Vegas Raiders do not have a great roster.
No, that roster is abysmal at about every cornerstone position. Even their left tackle, Colton Miller, is having a bad year after he's been pretty freaking good his entire NFL career. So they need a corner. They need a left tackle. Probably they don't need a left tackle. They'll give Miller some more time. They don't have a running back, dude. They don't have any. I mean, Zamir White. Amir Abdullah is probably the best running back on that roster.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah. And just to add to this, scouts that I've talked to, the thing that I've heard from multiple scouts are there's 2 players in this draft class who have outstanding background reports, character checks. Georgia linebacker Jalen Walker, Travis Hunter have glowing character checks. Like, what box doesn't Travis Hunter check?
Yeah. Yep. There are none.
Don't tell that to Boise State fans.
Yeah, sure. And so, yes, he should be the number 1 pick no matter what, in my opinion. If it was a better quarterback class, then we could have a legitimate discussion about this. but there is no quarterback that competes with him, in my opinion. So Travis Hunter should be the number one pick. The third Daft or Draft of the Daft on Draft podcast today is that Dillon Gabriel deserves to win the Davey O'Brien National Quarterback Award over Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. Do you daft this or draft this, Cory?
This is maybe the easiest draft that we've had. And it's easy for like me to say that, and I think the consensus would disagree. Like they would say, no, it's Shedeur, no, it's Cam. Dillon Gabriel's been the best quarterback in college football. Like we've talked about this for probably 3 episodes in a row now. Like, no, he's not the best draft eligible quarterback. He might play himself into like 4th round territory.
That would be insane to me.
It would be to me because I think he's like Dollar Tree Tua.
I mean, he's legitimately 5'11", like 195.
Yeah. He's like Dollar Tree Tua, down to like the Hawaiian left-handed quarterback. It's so funny. Yeah. But he is Dollar Tree Tua, but he throws with such a great anticipation, which is what Tua does, because Tua doesn't have excellent arm talent either.
No.
But Tua wins because he gets the ball out fast and he knows where he's going with his eyes, pre-snap, post-snap, and then so like that's the same thing Dillon Gabriel is doing. He's completed 73% of his passes this year, man. 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Yeah, Cam Ward's going to have flashier stats. But when I watch Cam Ward, again, not as an NFL draft prospect, as a college quarterback, he's a fun college quarterback. More touchdown passes, 1 more interception, more yards, whatever. Dillon Gabriel's done it consistently against very good defenses as well, pretty good defenses as well. And he hasn't actively ever lost Oregon a game. I don't know if he's ever actively won Oregon a game, but he is distributing at the highest level a college quarterback could. And I think he deserves to win that award for the highest level that a quarterback can win. Outside, I mean, it's not the highest, but the Davey O'Brien, like he deserves to win it.
Yeah, he's been the best quarterback in college football, and it's not even close in my opinion. And it's for all the reasons that you talked about. It's the anticipation, it's the accuracy. He pushes the ball downfield. This isn't a Bo Nix thing. I mean, there are a lot of easy answers in that offense, but he pushes the ball down the middle of the field. He pushes the ball along the sidelines as well, downfield. And I had a lot of people earlier when I was talking about Dillon Gabriel earlier in the season talk about, well, we see him throw the ball downfield all the time. Like he's got plenty of arm. No, he doesn't. There's a difference between every single 6A high school quarterback can throw the ball 50+ yards downfield.
Yes, that's my biggest gripe when people try to talk about arm talent and they'll show me a clip of a guy throwing a deep ball. It's like, that's not arm talent. Division III quarterbacks can do that. Every quarterback can do that.
Now, not every quarterback can do it accurately. And there are a bunch of guys in this class and in last year's class, one of them won in round 1, who can't throw a deep ball very well. But at the end of the day, he is practically perfect in that offense. Mm-hmm. Practically perfect. Is the protection great? Sure. But even when the protection breaks down, Dillon Gabriel is not a guy who is just a statue in the pocket either. He is able to move. He is able to create. He is able to use different arm angles to create throwing windows in the shorter areas of the field. He's not going to do the Cam Ward throw across the field and make a play type deal, but he is going to make the correct play 99% of the time. And I didn't even think about the Tua thing, but that Miami team could use a solid backup. So the 4th round, Dillon Gabriel might be a reality for the Miami Dolphins, because I do think that that's the type of offense that he could actually come in and have a little bit of a Taylor Heineke moment for. So not talking about the NFL side of things, he has quite clearly been the best quarterback in college football this year. And I think it's just about time we let fun college quarterbacks be fun college quarterbacks.
Yes.
And then obviously if we just didn't play the game and we were talking about NFL talent, it would be Shedeur. But
I tend to think I know. Yep. I tend to think Shedeur might get the nod here just because he's in the leaderboards of every category, from completion percentage, yards, touchdowns, and quarterback ratings. And this, at the end of the day, voters are very box score motivated.
Yeah.
I tend to think Shedeur is probably going to win it, but I think Gabriel deserves to win it as well.
So do I. Yeah. Yep. And that's it. 20
That's
minutes.
it.
Oh,
20
man.
minutes.
In and out. Which is good.
Except for the 45-minute episode yesterday. Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, we're at 45 minutes, and we have no idea how long the next 2 episodes are going to be because we are doing a mock draft 1 through 32, and we are doing it together. So we have to come up live. Not live, it's recorded. But live for us, come up with each pick. We have to discuss them, why we believe a guy should be chosen, like we are in a 2-man war room. Make sure you guys are tuning into that one. Until then, I am Dalton Miller. He is Cory Kinnan. Always remember, guys, I love you. Goodbye.